Hi lovelies, welcome back to another video. So I want to shout out my notification squad. These were the first 3 people to comment on our marble nail art design. So if you want to get in on the action, make sure your post notifications are turned on so that you don't miss out. I am going to be posting the first 3 comments at the beginning of every video. So my clients' nails have already been prepped. I did go in, apply my tips, shape them, dehydrate, lay down my first coat of primer, allow that to completely dry, and what you guys saw there was me applying the second coat. And immediately on top of that, I'm going in with my thin layer of clear acrylic to protect my client's natural nails and just make life a whole lot easier when she comes back to change this set out, because we are going to be doing a not polished design, all that good stuff. And if you're interested in seeing how I prepare her nails, I would link that video in my description box below. I am using my JC Beauty Concepts clear acrylic powder and my liquid for this set, along with my number 10 oval Kolinsky alpha brush, and I am going to be using some of the JC Beauty Concepts pastel collection as well. So I am going to be coating the entire pinky finger, index finger and thumb with this pastel purple acrylic. Now I like to start right where the natural nail plate meets the artificial tip. You can start anywhere, it's all about you being comfortable, but for me that is where I like to start working from. I don't go directly to the cuticle area. I do like to focus on my shape and laying the acrylic nice and evenly, because I know I have to go in and encapsulate, and I don't want that purple to look wonky underneath because any sinks or dips in your colored acrylic. So this is where you're going to use your acrylic monomer to your advantage. You're going to use this to pat that color into place, maintaining the shape of the nail as well to minimize filing. And you are going to take the liquid in your brush to smoothen out that colored acrylic as much as possible. I am making sure to keep this layer nice and thin because I still have to go in and encapsulate. So now going in with my cuticle bead, I'm going to place that, make sure it's not too wet but it's not too dry, so I can mold it and shape it to the cuticle area and still work it to blend it back into the acrylic that I already have on the nail, maintaining the shape, going around the cuticle to make sure there's no product on her skin. And because this is a white based acrylic powder, I need to be careful because white tends to get everywhere, and when it floods the cuticle area it doesn't look real cute. So you need to make sure that you have that right consistency when you're placing down that bead. I'm also making sure to get as close to that cuticle as possible without getting any product on the cuticle area, because remember I am using colored acrylic. I'm not going in with anything but top coat on top of this, and you want to make sure as well that there is enough product so when you go into file, you do not file away your cuticle area, because then you are going to leave a gap between the actual cuticle and enhancement. I don't know about you guys, but that is like one of my biggest pet peeves when it comes to working with colored acrylic. Like, it looks as though the client needs an infill because you filed away all that product that's supposed to be nice and flush at the cuticle area. So what I like to do is when I go in to encapsulate, I tend to encapsulate that area a little bit thicker than I would if I were just building up the structure of the nail with clear acrylic, so that way when I start to file I don't dig into my colored acrylic. I hope I am making sense, because I feel as though I'm just rambling, but that is one bit of advice, especially when working with colored acrylics, that you need to take into consideration that cuticle area. It is okay to do it a little bit thicker than if you were going to apply gel polish on clear acrylic. So I'm just going to go ahead and continue laying down this pastel purple on the index finger and thumb on this hand, and I'll meet you guys right back. So on this nail, I'm going in with pastel pink, yellow, green, purple, and blue. And I'm going to be creating an ombre. So I just go in with a little bit of each color at a time, just to make sure that ombre is really nice and the transition is smooth. So you definitely want to be adding a little bit of color at a time in order to get that nice smooth transition in between each color. Making sure to keep it really nice and thin, because I still have to go in, as I said before, and encapsulate. And this nail definitely needs to be encapsulated in order to protect that ombre that we're working so hard to achieve. If we were to go in and file on top of this, then we would definitely be wasting a whole lot of time. So using those same exact colors on this nail, I'm going to be creating an acrylic marble. Now it's just going to be random placement of colors wherever I feel it necessary to incorporate certain colors. So I started off with the purple being, of course, the main color throughout the marble set, but of course still allowing the other colors to shine through. So I'm just going to work these colors at a diagonal across the nail until I'm happy with the way that my marble looks. And after completing my marble, I'm going to be taking some iridescent glitters. I'm going to lay down a thin layer of clear acrylic and press some raw iridescent glitters in between this marble. And after doing that, I decided to use some white iridescent hexagon glitters in different sizes on top of the iridescent glitters. I included the other marble as well because you guys can see the same exact colors can give you two separate effects, and this is what I love about marbling, is that the two nails get to be so unique and so different, and I just love that whole unicorn vibe that I'm getting off of this set. And when it's nice, of course, you know, we do it twice. So after finishing up these nails, I did go in off camera and encapsulate them all. I also file shaped and buffed, and I also applied my no wipe gel top coat. So on the pinky nail on one hand and the index finger on the other hand, I'm going to be taking my IBD Intense Seal, and I'm using my Alpha liner brush, and I'm going to be creating some indents in this nail to represent a unicorn horn. Now my client didn't want chrome or anything like that on it, she just wanted the lines to give that effect, starting with a drop of my IBD Intense Seal, and then I am pulling it to make it thinner as I do that swirl effect. I'm not going to be covering the entire nail. We did just, I think, to the cuticle area and then works it up. I didn't go all the way to the free edge because she didn't want it all the way up, and I'm just going to continue just to make sure that these swirls actually look cute on the nail. It's just about eyeballing it. So I like to start off really nice and thick, and then as I go to the edges of the nail, I like to pull that gel to a peak so that nail actually keeps its shape and I don't have to go in and refile. And I am freezing in between each line that I draw, so that's why I left it like this in the video. So every time I did one swirl on the pinky nail, her hand will go into the lights, and then I would move on to the index finger on the opposite hand, and this is just to keep the height of my lines, and that gel is not going to start spreading and just mess everything up. We don't want that. So now with a really dry gel top coat brush, I'm going to go over those lines because I did top coat this nail before, and then I'm just going to go in and top coat this entire nail once again. And that was it for this set. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. Embrace your inner unicorn. I absolutely love how this set turned out. And if you did, you already guessed our emoji for this set. Leave me some unicorn emojis with those comments in the comment section below. And if you're not yet subscribed, please click on that subscribe button, and while you're there, turn your post notifications on so that you don't miss out the next time your girl uploads a new video. Join the notification squad. The first 3 comments on this video will get a shout out in the next one. So that is it for me, guys. I am out. As always, I would love for you guys to stay glamorous, be safe, and I'll see you soon.